What's cooking, Juventus fans? Welcome back to your old lady's favorite YouTube channel. Now, we have a lot of updates to get to. We have breaking news, and when I say breaking news, I mean news that came out within minutes of me recording this video. We'll be talking about the updates regarding the Mercado, and, well, we know one thing, Juventus are about to start their season. How does that look for the future, especially with what players they have to work with? Stick with us, we'll fill you in. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. My name is Justin Zofro, and today it is Friday. It's a beautiful Friday, at least here it is. It's a nice, healthy 75 degrees, though I know a lot of you don't know what that is because you go by Celsius, we go by Fahrenheit, whatever. Do me a favor, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. Again, it is August 12th, it's a Friday, and of course I've got your latest rundown. And when I say latest, I mean literally the latest news as it comes out. We'll be talking about it all here and right now. Before we do that though, let me go ahead and just remind you guys too, even though I said hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, consider joining the member squad here on the channel. You've heard it enough from me. You've heard the spiel. You can read for yourself. Hopefully you can read. In front of you, you have the different levels, the different tiers of stuff you get, the giveaways, the wallpapers, the Discord chat, all that fun stuff you get on the channel. Main reason I bring that up is to say, is because we are doing a prediction league here on the channel, and the season starts, what, tomorrow? First games of the season start tomorrow. Unless it starts today. I don't think it starts today. It starts tomorrow. You'll get those predictions in, have a lot of fun, and have a chance to win. First place gets the official Juventus jersey. Second place gets a €50 gift card to the Juventus store. Third place gets a full year free membership to our Bianconeri Zone channel. A lot of cool stuff you can win and have a lot of fun along the way. Consider joining the member squad today if you haven't already. And you can do that. You can join anytime. Just a reminder, you can join at any point during the season, but you have a better chance of winning, obviously, if you're participating and you're getting predictions in throughout the season from day one. So consider doing that right now. All right. Let's get into the news that we have for you today. And the very first thing that we have is the news regarding a left back situation for Juventus. As we know, Luca Pellegrini is gone. He's gone to Eintracht Frankfurt. What does that mean for Juventus in the Mercado for a left back? Well, Tuno Sports reporting that there has long been talks of Juventus' interest in Emerson Palmieri. However, it is linked to a sale. Very difficult to think about the departure of one of among Cuadrado, Danilo, De Sciglio, and of course Alexandro, which is why Juve should not make a signing. Let's be clear. Cuadrado's on a 1 year that he pushed because he had that option to, extend for a year. He's not going anywhere because of that, because he pushed that option. Danilo, he's probably not going anywhere. Last season, he had brought more to the table. If you're Juventus, you had more value out of him. Right now, it ain't looking the same way. De Sciglio, they just signed on. They just signed on for a few more seasons, and they made that decision early on the Mercado. Personally, I think it was a bad decision. You should have gone after Molina instead of renewing him, but it is what it is. Alexandro, you're stuck on a timeline. You have to wait till next season. I think with what we're doing right now, if you're looking at Juventus and the way they're moving on in this Mercado, is we're just sending Luca Pellegrini out just to move to maybe a three-man defensive formation, which is odd. If you move to like a 3-5-2, you usually have to have a more plentiful back line. And what I mean by that, I mean center backs. And unfortunately, right now, you got four guys. One person gets injured, and then you're decimated. I don't know. I mean, you can move to using Danilo. You can lose Alexandro in a three-man defense. They're not comfortable or confident in a four-man defense as the fullbacks in that situation. Why would I trust him in a three-line? I understand you can have Bremer, who is used to playing in a three-man defense. Bonucci, do you trust Bonucci by himself without Chiellini? I'm not trying to curse. I love Bonucci, okay? I actually am a defender of Bonucci more than most people. But at this stage in his career, he's not the same player. Without Chiellini, he is not the same player. Do you trust him there? Gatti is a guy who I really like what he can do. I really am hopeful for Gatti and Bremer in the future. But again, a three-man defense, it worries me, but maybe that's what we're looking at. We'll see. We'll be sure to find out against Sassuolo, though. If you saw the way that they played in there in the Coppa Italia, they may not be the best judgment for the future of the season. All right. Next up, let's talk about what's going on while looking for another attacker, a striker, a vice Vlahovic, whatever you want to call it. DiMarzio's reporting saying that the name at the top of the list remains that of Memphis Depay. We'll come back to him later, so stick with us because that'll be the news at the end of the video that you guys want to hear. But the proposed transfer is difficult to complete. That's why the club has tried to find alternatives like a Moise Kean Muriel swap with Atalanta. Let's be clear. That's not happening. Atalanta are not going to accept that deal, and I think they probably have already rejected that deal by now. Unfortunately, good thought, but it ain't happening. All right, let's continue on, though. Like I said, we're going to talk more about the different strikers, the options Juve can go after, but I think we have a more concrete option there at the end of this video. Sky Italia is talking about another option that they could go with, which is that of Simeone. Juventus are also in for Simeone, as the player hasn't reached a full agreement yet with Napoli. He is obviously departing Verona since Igor Tudor and everybody else left there as well. It's an option. It's an idea. I still think Napoli are probably in a better situation with him. Of course, they're also getting Raspadori, so we'll see. But I think the more likely option, again, remains to be Memphis Depay until that well is dry. Okay? Let's continue on. Let's talk about I guess now that the deal with Kostic is done, the most likely deal to be going after is, of course, reinforcing the midfield. And I say that a little tongue-in-cheek because the midfield's a clustered room already, but definitely getting a regista, guy that Max Allegri really wants and seems to be pushing for. And the name on the list, of course, is that of Paredes, and I feel like a lot of this is obviously constituted on the departure of Adrian Rabiot, right? Fabrizio Romano reports saying that Leandro Paredes has a full agreement on personal terms with Juventus. He is now waiting for Juventus and Paris Saint-Germain, whatever, I never do the PSG thing right, Paris, anyway, to find an agreement on fee and formula. Let's continue on because there's more updates with that. Gianluca Di Marzio is reporting that Juventus want to pay 25 million euros for Paredes. I'll be honest, I kind of feel like that's even still a little too high for a player that, where he is right now in his career, and then also his valuation. And again, my biggest question is how much are Juve going to be paying him per season? If they match what he's making right now, what's he making, like 8 mil per season at PSG? And you look at what they're paying Pogba in the wage cut that he took to come to Juve, Paredes better take a pay cut. Because to me, I feel like there's no way you can justify paying him nearly as much as Paul Pogba. That's ridiculous, to be honest. Third part of that, let's go ahead and get to it. Romeo Gresti basically reporting saying that Juve is also moving forward for Paredes. Total agreement with the player. The Bianconeri now wait to thin out the midfield department before trying to close the deal with PSG, which again is just confirmation that when it comes to the deal with Manchester United, Rabiot, that'll be the move that'll cement Juve going ahead and pushing for Paredes and hopefully trying to lock that one up. Again, it's an interesting situation given where we are in the Mercado before the season starts. If you can get some of these deals done, if this is what Juve are going for, and you know my opinions on it, it may not be, I don't love it, obviously, and that's fine. My opinion doesn't matter. When it comes to Juventus and this is what they're going for, it'd be nice to go ahead and get that moving along and get these things locked up so you can get ready and get going when it comes to the season. The last thing Juve needs right now is just especially after they looked how they did against Atletico Madrid, the last thing they need is to drop more points and to have a rough start like they did last season. You cannot get to a point where in November you're sitting potentially 10 points down again. And I know I had and people were mad at me because it was more of a hot takey rating or rankings when it came to my predictions for Serie A. Just given what I've seen in the Mercado moves, and I honestly think some of the players, because I think, yes, Paul Pogba is great. Having Paul Pogba is great. What's to say we're going to have Paul Pogba for the entire season? That's why, anyway, I don't need to justify my ratings. But anyway, let's continue on. Another option that Juventus could go after when it comes to this Mercado, though, is, of course, the player. Another regista. This news is floated out there today. We'll see how trustworthy the source is, because it's a source that not many know. Nick Purewall is reporting that Juventus thought to be ready to step up pursuits. Let's restart that one. Juventus are thought to be ready to step up pursuit of Jorginho from Chelsea FC if and when Manchester United complete the Rabiot signing. Juve will hope they can persuade the Chelsea star to move and the club to sell. Jorginho has regularly publicly declared his happiness to stay with the Blues long term. Which is a weird way to wrap that one up if you're reporting that Juventus are stepping up a move for Chelsea player Jorginho. You think you would say something like, maybe at the end you'd say Jorginho has long hinted at rumors that he would like to return to Italy. If you're trying to say that what you're saying is substantial. And what I'm saying by this is I think a lot of people don't know and don't feel that this is a trustworthy source. It's a weird bit of news to come out there at the end. It's an interesting one, obviously, given that Jorginho plays regista, could play that role for Juventus. Would be an interesting get. It would be, I'm going to be honest, I'm an Italian shill. Jorginho is not in my favorable list because of, obviously, the way last year ended, not making the World Cup. We don't need to rehash all that. So this doesn't just fill my, it's an Italian, it makes me happy. Though it is a little bit more appealing and interesting to me than a player like Paredes. We'll see. And Paredes, I'm not saying one's better than the other. I'm just saying the storyline is a little bit more intrigue to me. But what I think right there, I think that last statement in this report seems like a backtrack to me. Seems like a cover or CYA, cover your bleep, if you will, kind of statement that says, I don't really think this, but I'm going to put this news out there. That's what I get out of this. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. All right, let's continue on and talk about the Rabiot situation. Do we have an update for him? Well, Romeo Guidetti and multiple others are reporting saying that Rabiot, Manchester United, still no agreement has been met. The parties will continue to talk. It appears that Rabiot, or let's be clear, his mommy agent is pushing for him to get more money. They're trying to get him to get paid the same amount that he gets paid at Juventus. I think anybody who pays him the same amount they pay him at Juventus is out of your damn mind. I don't think he's valued at that much, though. They have Premier League money. You can spend Premier League money on whatever you want. That's fine. And honestly, if you want to take him off our hands, you spend whatever you want. But I think also Veronique has been trying to get a nice little chunk of chili cheese for herself, if you will, from them, and trying to see how much. I think there'll be an agreement. Am I hitting the panic switch? No. Am I a little bit more the longer this drawn out that I'm getting a little bit more apprehensive? A tiny bit. I still think, like I was about to say, I think it still gets done. But it wouldn't surprise me to see this thing fall flat on its face. And it's something I worry about. We'll see. I know there's people that do believe in Rabiot and would like to see Rabiot come back for another season. Max Allegri, we don't need to see your son for a whole another season. Taking playing time away from Locatelli, Weston McKennie, Zakaria, whoever. That's my personal opinion. Though Zakaria has not come back to look like the Zakaria we saw in the first couple games when he joined the club. Let's continue on, and here's the main reason you're here for the video, and the main story, what we need to talk about, though, is the Memphis Depay situation. We have updates there. Couple, when I say non-stories, it's kind of a little bit more of the same that you're expecting, and then Romeo Guidetti, I wouldn't say drops a bombshell, but drops a larger one, a more substantial one. Fabrizio Romano, reporting on the situation, says Memphis Depay update. Juventus are getting closer to an agreement with Depay's camp. Talks are progressing well. Positive contact also today. 2-year deals discussed, waiting for the official documents in the next days. No Spurs and no Turkish clubs are in the race for signing Memphis Depay. So that means Juventus are pretty much... They're sitting in good standing when it comes to the player and getting that done. It's just the whole situation with Barcelona has to be resolved, and maybe it was, and I missed that one. But as it stands right now, good feelings when it comes to him becoming a Juventus player. Oops, didn't mean to skip that one. All right, Romeo Guidetti also gives an update saying today new contacts between Juve and Depay. They keep moving forward, and for the Bianconeri, the Dutchman remains the absolute first choice, as reported by Fabrizio Romano. That's not the main one. The main point of what he said was this, and this was literally minutes ago, well, at least before filming this video. We'll see how long it takes to process and get out. But he says, further update on Memphis Depay. The Bianconeri are very close to finding an agreement with the player from an economic standpoint. So I would say keep your ear to the ground. Expectations are high that Memphis Depay will be coming to Juventus. Good for the club. Good for the attack. We'll see how this moves going forward. When will we have a here we go? Well, stick with us. We'll fill you in. All right. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. How do you feel about the team that's currently put together for Juventus? It's not, like I said, not all the pieces are in yet, but at the same time, you play with the pieces you got, and you're also criticized for the pieces you got. It may not be Juventus' fault for Chiesa being injured, Pogba being injured, whatever, but you can't excuse it away. You have to have at least, I don't want to say top tier talent, but you have to have good talent to come out there and play at a level that expectations are for Juventus. We'll see. This first match is going to be an interesting one. Hopefully Juve can take away home a fairly easy win, giving Sassuolo's predicament. But how confident are you guys that Juve will, I don't want to say trounce them, but get business done and go on from there. All right, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you have not already, make sure you hit that like button. Smash that like button for me. Really helps our channel continue to grow and, of course, feed the algo gods. If you haven't already, also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. Follow me at Justin Sofro on Twitter. And, of course, follow Bianconeri Zone at Bianconeri Zone, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. I'll see you guys next time. Forza Juve. Forza Bianconeri. Say hello to your old lady for me.